guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, and this is...
Calvin.
Oh gosh.
Oh, sorry.
What? Anyway, today we are going to be watching Season 1, Episode 19 of Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's right, we have reached the second to last episode of the season, and we are very excited. Well, I'm very excited. I don't know how you are feeling.
I can't be excited.
Mm.
Do I not act excited?
Anyway, in the last episode, we had the gang, Aang and the gang.
It's called the Gang.
The gang? Okay. I like Aang and the gang.
I think it's called the Aang Gang or something like that. I can't remember. What is Team Avatar called? Might be Team Avatar. I don't know.
Insert Jeopardy music here.
Oh, wee-oh.
That's not Jeopardy music.
Team Avatar was the name used to refer to... Okay.
Oh, really?
I accidentally used the real team name to describe what I believed the fake team name was. I like Gang.
I like Aang and the gang. Anyway, we had them go to the Northern Water Tribe, which is really like the Northern Water Kingdom, and they sort of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They like created waves, I guess, kind of.
They made
no
a big
pun intended.
splash.
No pun intended, but they...
Katara made waves.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
She rocked the boat.
She did. And...
Tip the boat over. Sorry, go ahead.
And they kind of challenged the this place's way of thinking, and this one person in particular, Master Paku, and now he is teaching both Aang and Katara to waterbend because he realized that he had been a bit backwards in his thinking. And we also had Sokka having a little love interest in Princess Yue. I've not said that right once.
Like, literally like this.
I haven't seen My Hero.
But you know the school that they go to?
Umbrella Academy? Where was I? Yes, Sokka and Yue had a little bit of a romance, but it was unfortunately interrupted due to the fact that she is promised to another. Mm-hmm. And since she is the princess of the Northern Water Tribe, she kind of has to go with the flow.
Stop making all these waterbending references.
Oh, I'm sorry, it just happened. Like, that was just too perfect of an opportunity. I had to capsize on it.
Capitalize on it? Now you're just using the wrong word. Why are you being so bubbly?
That's my personality. Oh, I get it!
Let's start.
Dang. Ooh.
Nice try, pupil Sangok. A couple of more years and you might be ready to fight a sea sponge. Would anyone care for a rematch with Katara?
Don't think they do. She effed them all up.
You've advanced more quickly than any student I've ever trained. You have proven that with fierce determination, passion, and hard work, you can accomplish anything.
Yay! She's awesome.
I grew up in a block of ice. It's not exactly a cultural hub.
Sokka, this is wrong.
What's wrong? We're taking a walk.
You know what you're doing.
It just feels...
You need to meet my good friend Appa.
Who?
Appa and I go way back.
Appa's being a
Don't we, boy?
wingman.
Oh my god!
Down, boy! No, up! Yep. Yep.
Oh my god. Who would say that as like a... What if fucking dork.
Wow. I can't believe you do this every day.
Look at her blush.
Yeah, we pretty much live up here.
It's beautiful up here.
Yeah.
It is.
Woo, yeah! Ah, good times, good times.
What?
Hey,
Okay.
look.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Ash.
Oh no.
They definitely are gonna get this village destroyed, aren't they?
I've seen it before. Right before my village was attacked. It's soot mixed with snow.
But why?
It's the Fire Nation. They've closed in on the North Pole.
Just think. Centuries from now, people will study the great Admiral Zhao, who destroyed the last of the Water Tribe civilization. This will be nothing like your legendary failure at Ba Sing Se.
Oh, I think it will be. Ugh, I would love nothing more than for him to get humiliated.
I can't see you anymore. Not at all.
What? We're just friends.
I wish we could just be friends, but I like you too much.
Yeah.
And it's too confusing to be around you. I'm marrying someone else.
I'm going to need volunteers for a dangerous mission.
Count me in.
Sokka,
Be warned, many of you will not return. Come forward to receive my mark if you accept the task.
I wasn't there when the Fire Nation attacked my people. I'm gonna make a difference this time.
I hope so, kid. Fire and ice. Literally.
Still better than Game of Thrones. Said still better than Game of Thrones.
Oh no. That's just one ship too. Appa! Yeah.
I'll take it from here, boy.
Dang. Strong.
We'll do that.
Yeah. Who is that? Oh!
Appa!
Abba was mad.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's more. Unfortunately.
There's more than
God,
50
it's
there
kidding.
now.
Yeah.
You'll be infiltrating the Fire Nation Navy. That means you'll all need one of these uniforms.
Ooh, they have a bunch.
What's your problem?
Fire Navy uniforms don't look like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Of course they do.
Not
These
anymore.
are real uniforms captured from actual Fire Navy soldiers.
They're similar,
When,
but not
100
exactly.
years ago?
Yeah.
85.
The Fire Nation doesn't wear shoulder spikes anymore.
How do we know we can trust this guy? Such bold talk for a new recruit.
Let me guess, that's her betrothed.
Han, show Sokka your respect. I expect nothing less from my future son-in-law.
Fucking knew it.
Princess Yue's marrying you?
His face.
Yeah? What of it?
As your military consultant, I must advise you to halt your attack. The waterbenders draw their power from the moon, and it is nearly full tonight.
That's why he
You
asked for the
should
moon.
wait and resume the attack at daybreak.
Look out for
Oh,
them.
I'm well aware of the moon problem, and I am working on a solution. But for now, daybreak it is.
How would you have a solution?
I don't need your wisdom right now, Uncle.
I'm sorry. I just nag you because, well, ever since I lost my son,
Uncle, you don't have to say it.
I think of you as my own.
He had a son.
I know, Uncle. We'll meet again. After I have the Avatar.
Son.
Remember your breath of fire. It could save your life out there. And put your hood up. Keep your ears warm.
I'll be fine.
Don't forget to put a jacket on. That's cute.
Yue is the finest.
Ew.
And she comes with the most perks.
Perks? What does that mean?
Gross.
I mean, Yue's nice and everything, but the points I'll gain with the chief aren't bad either.
Princess Yue is wasted on a self-absorbed weasel like you.
You're just a jerk without a soul. No offense.
That's enough! Sokka, you're off the mission.
Kind of foolish to take the only person off the mission that actually has dealt with the Fire Nation in the past 85 years.
Yeah, but that's how
nepotism works.
Mm-hmm.
They're like seal turtles. They're so cute.
Yep.
Turtles. Teals.
The legends say the moon was the first waterbender. Our ancestors saw how it pushed and pulled the tides and learned how to do it themselves.
Oh, that's a cool.
I've always noticed my waterbending is stronger at night.
Our strength comes from the spirit of the moon. Our life comes from the spirit of the ocean. They work together to keep balance.
The spirits. Maybe I can find them and get their help.
How can you do that?
The Avatar is the bridge between our world and the spirit world.
What's that?
So is this the way to the spirit world?
No.
No, you'll have to get there on your own. But I can take you to the most spiritual place in the entire North Pole.
Ooh. I'm assuming it's like a temple.
Looks pretty spirity to me.
Yeah.
It's so warm here. How is that possible?
It's
warm.
the center of all spiritual energy in our land.
That's weird. Yin yang. Oh, don't try to eat them, Momo.
You're right, Yue. I can feel something.
You cold? Use your fire.
Be quiet.
They listen.
You pushed them out of the way. And swimming against that amount of flow, you have to be crazy strong.
I have a special task in mind for you.
What, you want me to scrub the barracks?
I want you to guard my daughter, Princess Yue.
Sure. That shouldn't be too hard.
Is he okay?
He's crossing into the spirit world. He'll be fine as
quick.
long as we don't move his body. I'm perfectly capable of protecting him.
Well, aren't you a big girl now?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hand him over, and I won't have to hurt you. I see you've learned a new trick, but I didn't come this far to lose to you.
You little peasant. You found a master, haven't you?
She has become the master. Damn.
She's real powerful.
She's not as strong because it's not night anymore.
You rise with the moon. I rise with the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
What happened? Where's Zuko?
He took Aang. He took him right out from under me.
Where did they go?
Unclear. What?
So,
Yes.
what do you think
Like in general? Or
about the episode?
like what's gonna happen next?
Anything.
I really liked it. It's probably my favorite episode so far this season, just because obviously everything's like coming together and all the storylines and characters really are kind of like converging
In the same place.
on this one central point. And it's it's conflicting, right? Because in a way you want to root for Zuko because you don't want to root for Zhao, but then you also don't want Zuko to get Aang because Aang needs to defeat Ozai and he would take him to Ozai and then that would be bad. you know. But then at the same time, it's like, but I don't want Zuko to be banished anymore, so it would be good for Zuko. But it's like, it's very
the show has a really great way of turning the enemies into their own protagonists.
Yeah, well,
based
except for
on Zhao.
That's why I said Zhao.
Oh, I thought you said Chow. Like
no,
like Han said. But yeah, it has a really great way of
making you care about them.
Making you care about them, and also like illustrating the point of every villain is a hero in their own story. You know? Zhao thinks that he's, defeating the Water Nation.
Yeah. Like, I understand
the Water Tribe and
Zhao's goals, but I hate him. Whereas, like, I understand Zuko's goals and Iroh's goals, but I still really like them and care about them.
It's because,
and in a way, want them to accomplish
it's
their
because
goals.
the difference between Zhao and Zuko, you can understand their motivations, and you don't have to agree with them.
Yeah.
But Zhao is an unlikable character.
Oh, yeah.
Zuko is not especially unlikable. He just seems to be on the wrong side.
Yeah. No, I find Zuko to be quite likable, honestly.
From what we've seen of his backstory and stuff, like, if Zuko had another choice, it seems like he might do that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't see that he has one. So this is, the only course of action that's open to him.
Yeah. And I think that right now, also, it's very important to Zuko to get back in his father's good graces. Like, I don't think that he's doing this for the glory of it, really, right? Except for insofar as he thinks that his father cares about the glory of it. You know what I mean? Because he said, like, what he said to Iroh in the beginning of the season, like, my honor depends upon this. Like, everything depends upon this. And whereas, like you said, like, a lot of times in a villain's story, you can understand where they're coming from. And it doesn't mean that you have to excuse it or sympathize with it. It's just a way of understanding where that character is coming from, which is, I feel like, what they show you with Zhao, I understand his motives. I understand him as a character. But I don't excuse, like, the shitty things he does because, like, I don't like him. And, like, I don't excuse Zuko, but at the same time, it's like I'm much more sympathetic and understanding of where he's coming from and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't want him to hurt Katara or Aang or anybody, but, like, it's conflicting because it's like they show such a different side to him, like him and Iroh in this episode when they're saying goodbye, and we find out that Iroh had a son at some point, which obviously something bad happened to him, and now he sees Zuko as his son, which I haven't met Ozai yet, but I feel like this is like a John Winchester.
We have a little bit.
Well, a little bit. But I feel like this is like a John Winchester versus Bobby Singer situation, whereas, like, this is the dad he has versus this is the dad he deserves to have, And Iroh is the dad he deserves to have because he actually gives a shit about him over whatever it means for, his legacy or whatever.
Right, yeah.
And so I really loved the moment with Zuko and Iroh in this episode, and, like, it was making me, like, tear up a little bit because they're saying goodbye and they're saying, like, see you later, but they also don't know that they will see each other later. So it's almost like a hope I see you later, but if not, I want you to know that, like, I love you. Like, I think that's why, like, sorry, it's making me, like...
No, yeah.
But I think that's why, like, Iroh, like, hugged him and everything, because he's, like... Sorry, it's getting to me. But, like, I think, he hugged him because he's, like... If I don't see you later, like, if something happens to me, if something happens to you, like, I want this to be established. Like, you're my son to me. Like, that's what matters to me, you. And, I don't know. It got me.
No, yeah. I love the mostly unspoken relationship between them. Because, like, they both understand where the other is coming from. And...
Words aren't really necessary.
Words aren't necessary. Like... Even before Zuko was banished, Iroh was mentoring him. He was the one that brought him into the war room and like gave him advice like, look, you can come in here, but, some of these old guys don't like, people questioning their decisions.
So you gotta be quiet. Like, please don't challenge the status quo.
Yeah.
But, Zuko's Zuko, so he had to,
yeah,
speak up for what he believed in. And I think, in a way, Iroh likes that. Like, he respects that Zuko couldn't. Like, he wishes, probably, that he could have, like, stayed quiet. But I think he also respects Zuko for caring about their people and enough to say, like, hey, this isn't right to do. Because, like, even in the crowd in that episode, like, there was that one girl that was, like, super happy that Zuko got destroyed or defeated by his father, which was, like, weird. And then there was, like, everybody else was just kind of, like, I think they were cheering or something, I can't remember. But Iroh was, like, visibly upset. Like, he was, like, upset,
Yeah.
So.
Well, not only is that, like, his nephew that, he sees as his son, but that's his brother doing it,
Yeah, exactly.
It's just,
Shitty.
Yeah, it is shitty.
Like I said, I haven't met Ozai yet. I assume at some point we will meet Ozai. Like, not really. Like, we saw the shadow of him. We heard his voice. But, I just expect him to be an asshole. Like, I don't
what gives you that idea?
Everything. Only everything that we've ever heard.
Yeah.
I also really liked, or I'm very interested in, like, what's going on with Aang in the spirit world, because we saw him go into the spirit world, and we've seen him be glowy, and then we saw everything that's happening in our world, right? So I'm curious as to what Aang's doing in the spirit world, and I hope we find out in the next episode. I don't know. Hopefully he's, like, gathering a bunch of spirits to fight, or they're going to tell him how to fight, or who knows. I just am very invested in Admiral Zhao, like, failing so hard. Like,
Yeah. Well, especially with the talk, like, I'm not going to let this turn into your famous failure of
Bossing
Say.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah, he's an asshole to Zuko, who we care about. He's an asshole to Iroh, who we care about. He's an asshole to everyone who we care about. So, like, why would I ever root for him? Like, like, there's no part of me that's like, well, maybe he has a point. Like, no. Like, fuck you. And I did like, too, that, to take it to Sokka for a second, that when they're having the meeting with, like, what's his name? Chief Arnook, right?
Arnook. Yeah.
That's the dad of,
he's the
Yue.
The patriarch,
Yeah. So when he's having the conversation with all of them, and he's like, okay, we're going to infiltrate the Fire Nation, which actually I think is a very smart idea, because, there's no way, like, they would recognize every single soldier when there's that many different soldiers, But I liked Sokka being like, well, hold on, like, that's a good idea, but your execution's not going to work because these are not the right uniforms. Like, these must be really old. And I like that, we've talked about, like, Sokka being recognized for, like, his smarts before, and, like, I like that he kind of was recognized in this for that as well, because he knew something that they didn't know, which is that the Fire Nation has changed their uniforms. Like, the colors are still the same. It's pretty much the same, but they made it less cumbersome for themselves, and easier. And so he was kind of very useful in that moment. And I liked the chief asking him to watch over his daughter, because he saw that and he's like, okay, I need him to watch over my daughter because I think that he knows more than the rest of these guys, which is just funny because the chief is obviously, like, clueless AF as to what's going on with his daughter. You don't think? I feel like he's, like, clueless, but, like, maybe he doesn't like Han and he's trying to, like, do something, but I just took it as him being a little bit, like, clueless. But he probably has advisors and stuff.
When has a father ever not been worried about what a young guy wants to do with his daughter?
I don't know. Like, to be fair, he probably has people spying and watching his daughter all the time, so he probably knows that she's talking to Sokka, in hindsight, especially because, like, he has the resources to do such a thing. But if I was him, I wouldn't want my daughter with Han, because he's a fucking idiot, one. and he's an asshole, and he doesn't respect her, and he talks about her like shittily and
like a piece of meat.
Yeah, it's like locker room talk or whatever the fuck it is that people try to claim when men are gross about women. But yeah, he seems like
talking about benefits and perks and stuff like that,
which is like gross. But yeah, we really don't like him. We being me, I'm assuming you as well.
No, yeah, I can't stand him.
And
it's just that toxic masculinity, like really gross.
I feel like Sokka is like masculine, but not in a toxic way. He's just kind of like a little stupid sometimes.
Sometimes it's,
but he's also smart, which I appreciate being highlighted. Speaking of that family, though, we gotta take a moment for Katara being like the most badass. I feel like she's gonna be like so awesome, like when she like even learns just a little bit more, because like she, after learning for like, to be fair, we don't know how long they've been here, but like a week, a month, you know, however long it's been, versus like Zuko learning for his whole life, and she was holding her own against Zuko, you know.
She was beating him.
Yeah.
Of course, that also was the effect
at night, like it'd be interesting
like,
if
she was strengthened and he was weakened.
And then in the sun, he was strengthened and she was weakened. So it would be really interesting to see them, like, if they could like fight in a way that was neutral, you know, for
in
like
a balanced
in a balanced fight. But like the fact that she could do that, the fact that she like destroyed every guy in the the water tribe, like, and they were all like, I don't want to fight. No, we're good.
The sparring.
Once was enough. Is like awesome. Like I really like Katara as a character. I think she's really cool, and it's cool to see her like be badass and like, I don't know. I just like it. Yeah. I also still, I know this is probably weird, kind of ship her and Zuko. Like I can't help it. Like a part of me just likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, you know, they're very opposite, you know, yet kind of similar. Like their personalities, you know, they're both very determined. They're both very stubborn. They're both very powerful, obviously. They both obviously care about people, even though Zuko kind of doesn't like to highlight that, but he does care about people.
They have like a very singular focus.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me ships it. I'm just saying. I knew that Aang and them were going to somehow get this place destroyed, but like they took it to a whole new level.
Literally everywhere else that they've gone to.
I'm like, oh, this place is so beautiful. Like
keeping to form.
It's like, this place is so beautiful. It would be a shame if someone were to come and destroy it.
Yes, it'd be a shame if someone were to set fire to them.
Right, and it's like. Also, sorry, the last thing that I have to say, I think, is I'm curious as to where Zuko's going. Like, I think he's on land. He's at the top where it's like snowing and it's really cold. I'm curious as to how long he's going to be able to keep this up, because he's carrying Aang on his back. It's really cold. He doesn't have food or water or
It looks like he's moving away.
Yeah, it looks like he's moving away from the fight.
To the north.
So he's just going somewhere where it's even colder. But we'll have to see where he's going. I'm not exactly sure. But I'm very curious as to where he's going. And I know that it's not going to happen, but, like, I wish that, like, Iroh, like, at some point could just, like, stab Zhao in the back and be like, fuck you.
You think he's going to stab him?
No. I don't think he's going to do that. But I just think it would be awesome if he did. Or, like, used fire and he just, like, fell over.
Used fire and he fell over?
Like, because he keeps turning his back to Iroh because he's a fool.
Well, he has no reason to
distrust him.
Yeah. Not in that way, anyway.
No, I know. But, like, I just wish... I just want him to die.
Okay.
Or at least go to prison, you know. Is there anything else you have to say?
Only, do you want to watch the next episode?
Yes, obviously. I'm just waiting for us to finish this one.
Well, you have to wait a week.
No! Oh, they do, but not me. Okay, so this is all that we have to say about this episode, and you can watch the next one next week on YouTube Or if you are an early access patron, you can watch the next episode, the finale, right now on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good deal. If you
Link is down in the description, right?
Yeah. Yes, it always is.
Right.
Yes, it always is.
Okay. You guys should check on that.
Yeah. And
See
tell
if
me
it's something that you like.
Tell me your thoughts on this episode in the comments below, please. I always love to read all of your comments. And that's all we have to say. We're going to watch the next one now. Until next time. Bye, guys. Wave, babe. Babe, say bye. Babe!
You didn't do the wave!